Thanks for checking out this video. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Feel free to cyberbully us in the comments. We can take it. We're big boys.
Please, we're so desperate.
Go easy on us.
Welcome to A Tribe Called Fantasy with your hosts, Greg and Justin.
At the bottom of the list, we have Nyheim Hines. Next up, we got Zach Moss, Frank Gore, J.K. Dobbins, Devin Singletary, James White, Myles Gaskin, Antonio Gibson, and DeAndre Swift. These are definitely your bottom of the barrel running backs. These are people that you're going to be adding to your team. Hopefully you won't be having to play them, but we know there have been a lot of injuries recently. Out of this grouping, Antonio Gibson, to me, has some of the best promise out of these names. Week 2 had 13 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown. Touchdown was kind of late in the game, so that's something to keep in mind. The Cleveland Browns is a tough matchup. So this is definitely a player that you only want to have to play as a flex if you got some injuries, and if you can add him on your team, you want him there just to kind of have him simmer for when he's ready to emerge. I think he's a good player to keep an eye on, though.
I definitely think you're going to keep an eye on him more than you're going to bank on starting him. Later in the season, I think he'll have a better season, but right now, finding his footing with this kind of bottom of the barrel stuff, like you're saying, you're not banking on much. So a garbage time touchdown, more power to you. DeAndre Swift, somebody I'm eyeing, that's probably the best start, obviously the highest ranked, but as your notes say, that boy not clutch.
Not clutch at all.
Oh, man. I've never seen such a tragedy from a rookie on week 1 who was playing his ass off, really balling out, making plays, being a great pass catcher out of the backfield, and got hit right in the breadbasket, let it slip through his hands. How about Frank Gore, man? You were telling me how much you love Frank Gore this week.
We love Frank Gore this week. Week 2 had 21 carries for 63 yards. Fuck Frank Gore. He is the definition of fool's gold. Please retire Frank Gore. He is the Jets' workhorse back, though.
21 carries last week, that's a lot. It's ironic that all the scouts said that he was going to have injury problems when they were drafting him, and sure as shit, he's the oldest man to ever play the game at this point. Not actually, but real close. Oldest running back, I do believe.
Damn.
You can't argue with 21 carries. It's going to give you upside in what is a rather sketchy-looking bottom for the running backs. Everybody needs a running back this week because they got hurt. I would look elsewhere, maybe a James White, maybe a Myles Gaskin, but other than that, what can you do if you got him?
Hopefully you don't.
Those carries, though.
So many carries.
So many carries.
I'm surprised that he doesn't have arthritis and Todd Gurley does.
I'm sure he does.
That shit is ridiculous to me.
I think he's got to play a couple more years, though, just so him and his son can be on the same team.
Damn, that'd be kind of sick.
Wouldn't it?
1-2 punch.
It'd be like LeBron and Bronny. Starting at 27, we got Mark Ingram, followed by Leonard Fournette, Darrell Henderson Jr., Joshua Kelly, Mike Davis, Jerick McKinnon, Todd Gurley, Melvin Gordon, and rounding up this 9, Kareem Hunt. Sad to see Melvin Gordon in the 20s these days. Used to be such a staple for the Chargers offense.
It's just I don't know, he's getting the work, but Philip Lindsay's out. I think with Philip Lindsay out, Melvin Gordon's value is there. I mean, he's been getting the job done, but he's just had tough matchups, and I think that's what is kind of keeping him lower on our lists.
19 carries for 70 yards and 2 receptions last week. Touchdown definitely saved his day, but otherwise, real tough matchup. The Broncos' offense is just so slow, and with Drew Lock injured, everything is falling apart for him. His upside is minimal at this point.
A lot of the players in this list are going to be benefiting from injuries, such as Mike Davis, Jerick McKinnon, Leonard Fournette. We'll see if he can repeat what he did last week, but
I'm thinking eventually he'll take the starting role.
I think so too.
I think he's good enough.
He's too talented.
I think Joshua Kelly's probably the biggest surprise. 23 carries, 64 yards, so not amazing, but the fact that they were feeding him like they were, it's amazing in its own.
He has a good opportunity, too, against the Carolina Panthers, who Josh Jacobs absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, they were even giving him some of the goal line back. As an Austin Eckler owner, I was not a fan of, but he's a big body. And Justin Jackson's hurt, so definitely a good flex play these days. A must own, I would say.
23 carries, man. You definitely want those opportunities.
How do you feel about Todd Gurley as an owner?
As a Todd Gurley owner, I'm simultaneously positive and negative. He had the 21 carries last week, but only was able to get 61 yards. The O-line is just not able to really create any holes for him to run through. He's got another tough matchup against the Chicago Bears. So I think with Todd Gurley on my team, I'm still going to play him this week, but I'm definitely wishing I had better options. I mean, you just drafted Todd Gurley too high. I mean, you got to hope that he'll be able to do something special with the carries. Hopefully the talent will kick in, but as you love to talk about, he has those old man knees.
Old man knees.
But we'll see.
As an Atlanta native, such as you and I are, I really want to root for him. I really want to root for Matt Ryan. I just can't.
I don't want to root for Matt Ryan.
Okay.
I don't want to root for the Falcons.
No,
I got no love for these Falcons.
I do want to be a Falcons fan, but I just once they get rid of Matt Ryan, I'll jump on board. But Todd Gurley's not helping the case. I'm disappointed that he's doing so bad, but I'm not surprised.
I think it's good that the Falcons have COVID because, well, not as I think it's good that COVID is happening because
I don't think it's good, Greg?
Yeah.
You think it's good,
Full
bro?
quote. Full quote. COVID is good.
Send that out.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna put that on the Twitters.
Not Todd Gurley. The stadium would not be filled anyways, regardless of COVID. The fans would not be happy. There would be, I guess Atlanta fans in general just aren't passionate, so there's not going to be riots in the street like Philadelphia Eagles fans would do when they see success. Could you imagine if another team like the Philadelphia Eagles had this type of failure over and over again? That team would not exist anymore.
As a Hawks fan, I just can't take this kind of stress on my life with also being a Falcons fan.
Damn.
So I understand the pain.
That Southern hospitality, baby.
Ooh.
It's keeping that Southern hospitality is keeping the Falcons afloat.
Dude, it sucks.
Next on the list, we have David Montgomery, David Johnson, James Robinson, Chris Carson, James Conner, Miles Sanders, Joe Mixon, Dalvin Cook, and wrapping up this grouping, we have Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor had 26 carries last week, 101 yards, and a touchdown. He is clearly the feature back in the Colts now with Marlon Mack out. Nyheim Hines fully disappeared. Where he at, though, we don't know. Jonathan Taylor is going to be a great play this week against a really shitty New York Jets team.
Yeah, got a couple of young bloods here with Jonathan Taylor and James Robinson. Another breakout rookie, 16 carries, 102 yards, and a touchdown last week against the Titans of all people. Easy matchup this week with the Dolphins, and he's dominating the backfield. He's getting all the carries. Chris Thompson, who we thought would have a decent role, see ya, son. Stand on the sidelines.
David Johnson, definitely lower in our rankings. He has not been very efficient with his touches. You're a David Johnson owner. Are your red flags up?
My red flags are not up strictly because they've played the two best offenses in the league back-to-back. Start with the Chiefs, get the Ravens, and now he gets a tough matchup against the Steelers. You're not pleased if you have to start him these 3 weeks, but I think the rest of the season is going to really show what he's all about. Week 1, 11 carries for 77 yards. He looked electric. 11 carries for 34 yards in week 2. Ravens defense is what we'll chalk that up to.
And we got the Pittsburgh defense. I guess I have a question for you. Would you bench David Johnson for someone like Mike Davis?
For Mike Davis, I'm going to say it's something you consider. And probably,
I guess we have the rankings.
I'm going to say no. Yeah, I'm going to say no.
We have the rankings to fall back on.
Yeah.
Play David Johnson over Mike Davis.
Heard it here first.
Good Lord.
I'm a David Johnson believer though. It's going to be tough sledding, but he might mess around and get 3 touchdowns. You never know.
He has the talent. He's just had some tough matchups.
They've been behind every single game.
Yeah, and it's just, man, that offense is just rough stuff.
It's rough for sure.
It is rough stuff.
I think they'll bounce back once they get some candy ass matchups, some easy throwing their way. Because man, they're going through the ringer right now, and the Steelers, while they have a good defense, they're not going to drop 50 on you like the Ravens and Chiefs can do. So I think the pace of the game will be a little bit better than what they're used to.
Also, really love Miles Sanders this week. He had 20 carries last week, 95 yards and a touchdown. Got involved in the passing game a little bit, even though that Eagles offense is kind of suspect. They got a nice matchup against the Cincinnati Bengals, and I think the Eagles will come out looking to prove themselves. So I think we'll see a lot of touches for Miles Sanders this week too.
I agree. Hopefully Dalvin Cook can bounce back. Hopefully that whole Vikings offense can bounce back. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see Dalvin Cook get some more work too. He's not gotten over 16 carries, and that's just when you drafted Dalvin Cook, you were hoping for a lot more than that.
Hey, I think that's game script dependent, but it is what it is. Wrapping up the top of the top, we got the All-Stars, the Superstars, the running backs that are going to bring you to the championship. Starting off at number 9, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Austin Eckler at number 8. Number 7, Kenyon Drake. Number 6, Nick Chubb.
Nick's Chubb. Man, that Chubb thick.
Number 6, Nick Chubb. Number 5, Josh Jacobs. Number 4, Derrick Henry. 3, Aaron Jones. 2, Ezekiel Elliott. And number 1, the New Orleans Camaras. What a team that Kamara guy is.
Oh, he is a good team. I think the player that probably was the most contentious between us two was Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'm a lot higher on Clyde Edwards-Helaire than you are. I think.
Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Oh, thank you.
I'm going to let you finish.
Week 1, he had 25 carries. Week 2, that dropped down to 10, but we did see a heavy uptick in the passing game where he had 6 receptions. They are playing the Baltimore Ravens, so I think that this is Monday Night Football game. It's going to be high energy. I think it's going to be an absolutely electric game. It's going to be a fucking fun game to watch. I think we're going to see Clyde Edwards-Helaire continue to be used in the passing game. I think he's going to see a lot of PPR points. And I think he'll get in the end zone too.
I don't know about that. I was stuck between where he is now, and I do believe we ended up going with what I wanted. I do think you wanted him higher. The thing about Clyde Edwards-Helaire is I just don't think he's going to be able to run on the Ravens. So I think he's going to have an average game. I mean, he's in the top 10 for a reason, but I think it'll be strictly due to the PPR aspect. And Darwin Thompson, he ended up playing more snaps than he did the first week. I think he played maybe only 15%, but they used him in some schemes that normally Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the first week would have been a part of, but he wasn't. So he's still a rookie at the end of the day. You never know what you're going to get with a rookie coming off a big week. Hopefully, for the Clyde Edwards-Helaire owners, he keeps popping off. But for me, it's more of a wait-and-see kind of thing.
I think last week with David Johnson going up against the Ravens, they were able to stop him more just because of the fact that
Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You said David Johnson going against the Ravens?
No, I mean, didn't the Texans play?
Yeah,
yeah.
they did.
No, I'm talking about David Johnson.
Oh, okay.
I think the reason that they were able to stop him so much is because they just don't have the offensive weapons the Chiefs do. I think that the Chiefs offense they got shooters all over the court. The Ravens defense is going to be spread thin. I think there's going to be bigger holes for Clyde Edwards-Helaire to run through. I think you're going to see. I just think that the opportunities for him are just going to be so much higher. But I digress.
I completely agree, honestly. You're talking me into it, but I like the ranking.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these other players, I think, deserve to be in their spots. I think we're going to see Kenyon Drake finally kind of give you that fantasy football performance that you've been waiting for from him.
Yeah, maybe they'll get into the red zone, and Kyler Murray won't
Not
take off for 15.
exactly. We'll see. I like Kenyon Drake this week. We both like Kenyon Drake this week.
Man, how about Alvin Kamara? This guy is amazing.
Absolute monster.
He doesn't even look like he's running very hard.
He really doesn't. He looks so like relaxed when he's running. He's
Pure steez.
pure steez. He's patient. He kind of like he doesn't even seem like he's out of breath.
No, he does. I mean, he's just got the grill. He's got 7 chains
Oh,
on.
hell yeah. I'm a big proponent for NFL players wearing chains. I want to see chains being snatched. I want to see brawls. I want to see
Ooh.
more chains, more ice. There was a Raiders rookie, I should know his name, but
Brian
I
Edwards or
don't.
something like that.
It was a cornerback. He had like these like thick ass chains on. He had like red dreads. He looked like Lil Yachty playing
I do know
football.
what you're talking about.
He looked dope as hell. So
Yo,
much swag.
Cam Newton's chain was.
I don't think
it
I
was
saw
heavy.
Newton's chain.
It looked good.
Alvin Kamara is obviously dominating right now. I think that he's the number one running back with some of the injuries we saw. Was heavily used in the passing game, which is just praise be for PPR. Had 9 catches, 95 yards. Without Michael Thomas on the field, they are at a lack for offensive weapons. And Alvin Kamara is a really nice offensive weapon to have, and they are definitely going to use him.
I like Aaron Jones this week a lot too. He's coming off a monster game. 14 carries for 142 yards on 3 catches for 59, 2 touchdowns. That's just amazing. And then now they're playing the Saints this week, and they just showed that they can give up points to anybody. If anybody can just come in there, especially if your name is Derek Carr, and just slang all over them.
DC, baby. Go Raiders.
Man, that was rough, but I think Aaron Jones is about to feast. Same thing with Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Baby matchup. He's playing the JV team right now. He's got the Minnesota Vikings. 31 and 25 carries in week 1 and week 2, respectively. So a lot of carries. They're trying to feed him down there in Tennessee.
I'm not going to let us finish this episode without touching on another Raiders player, Josh Jacobs.
Oh, did we have to?
Oh, we have to. Josh Jacobs getting 27 touches this past game.
30 touches, 27 carries.
27 carries, 3 receptions. He was definitely stuffed by the Saints' defense, and had some injury concerns throughout the game, but he is a tough son of a bitch. And John Gruden wants to run the football. He's not going to see a massive decrease in carries. I think we see him getting 20-plus carries for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, he's got some high usage.
It could lead to some injuries further down the road. He had some injury concerns last year, but Josh Jacobs he is a good football player. He's tough. He runs hard. He's a beast.
You're not wrong about that. I'm hoping for a big Austin Eckler week against the Carolina Panthers, but QB up in the air. Joshua Kelly stealing some goal line touches doesn't help, but he's still a PPR machine, and best of all, he's just a good back. 16 carries, 93 yards. I think that's about over a 5.5 average. I should probably have that written down somewhere, but I digress. Real nice player.
He's good.
Yeah, I'm hoping for big things. Started off a little slow in week 1, but to be expected when you're about to lose to the Bengals, apparently.
The opportunities are there. He's due for an end zone. He's due for an end zone score. I think they call that a touchdown.
I do believe so. Maybe a home run. Riddle me this, though, Batman.
Am I Batman?
You can be Batman this time.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb. I think he's going to have a great game.
Nick's Chubb?
Nick's Chubb, yeah, my boy. But Kareem Hunt. How do you think he affects the dynamic of this? Do you think he actually helps Nick Chubb by having a second running back who can always fulfill the role that they need to just move the ball? So they just keep feeding it because they got Johnny Mayfield back there.
Johnny Mayfield.
Partying on all these commercials.
Man, screw Baker Mayfield. He's trash.
Yeah, he's garbage.
He does have funny commercials.
No, I don't think he's actually that bad. I was just mob mentality right there.
Yeah,
I just wanted to be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, if you're
It's
listening,
cool to hate on Baker Mayfield.
yeah, if you're listening and you hate Baker Mayfield, I do too.
Yeah, if you hate Baker Mayfield too, hit that like button.
Please subscribe.
Hit that notification. Hey, if you fucking hate Baker Mayfield's guts, if you're sick of seeing Baker Mayfield on Hulu, hit that notification bell.
Man, I'm sick of seeing all these Hulu commercials. If I have to see another colored mattress commercial, they got a green mattress, they got a purple mattress. Sorry, sidebar.
The Washington football team, their defense has been pretty decent though. But I think what you're saying about Nick Chubb having Kareem Hunt to kind of take some of the workload away helps, I would say.
I agree.
22 carries last week.
A lot of carry, 124 yards.
Yeah.
2 tutties.
Looked real good.
Yeah, he did.
Looked like the Nick Chubb you drafted. Thanks for checking out this video. If you have any issue with where we put any of these players or who we put on this list, go ahead and let us know in the comments. We can handle the heat, and we will not get out of the kitchen.
Bully us if you'd like. We're ready.
We can handle it. We're tough boys, but we are so desperate for approval. Hence the YouTube channel.
Yeah.